Alright guys, this is the end of day one here at the Amateur Nationals, and I wanted to, it rained all day, it was tough, but I wanted to show you, this is what your hotel room can look like when you're living large in the 3-gun lifestyle. Oh yes, all your shit laying out, drying, guns everywhere, even our range books are wet. It's pretty good stuff. So we're going to be doing some maintenance tonight, try to get all this stuff ready to go, and hopefully you'll learn something, and I know I will. Blair's going to be helping us out. There's the old open class Glock, performed triumphantly today. And there's Blair's table.
3-gunning is really hard on your equipment, especially when you're shooting a national and you have a lot of stages, different environments. You know, it's hard on equipment, so you got to keep it up in running order. So especially when it's been raining, you really want to get these things opened up, make sure there's no water in them, make sure they're dried out. So it's just a general cleaning, make sure that they're dry. I generally don't get too carried away with, I don't want to do like a whole rebuild, if you will, because if the gun was running, I just want it to get clean and dried, and I will oil it up again. But just, I generally inspect my equipment a little bit, you know, bolt heads, make sure your ejectors and extractors are still in one piece, wipe the crud off. I will inspect bores, make sure that there's not a lot of water standing in them or anything. I'll swab them too at the end of the night, just to give her a nice light coat of oil to start the day. Always like to check and make sure that my fire control group has got some grease on its contact points, especially at the sear. And if you run in a lot of wet weather, you invariably have to put some lubricant in these things to ensure that they're running smoothly. At least I do. But as you can imagine, when you have a lube of any type, I like break free. That's kind of my catch-all cleaner lube, all in one that I care to use. But like anything else, you get a lot of water mixed in with it, it starts to coagulate and get monkeys. Just make sure you wipe that stuff out so everything's clean and up to tolerance. Like I said, if the gun's running, I don't want to change too much. Just go through and make sure it's dry more than anything else. So that stuff done, reassemble your rifle. Got to clean up your optics because they've been wet and they get spotty. I like to use a loop-hole lens pen. Clean the debris off. Clean your glass. Make sure everything's clean, spot free on your glass. No one likes dirty glass. Rifle mag maintenance. Some people don't think it's necessary maybe, but if I've been shooting a magazine in a really wet match, I like drop the bottom plates out of them, take them apart, make sure that the mag bodies are dry, clean, not full of debris. Depending on what kind of climate you're shooting in, if you're in an area that's prone to a lot of sand, you know, you do a mag change, they get full of sand pretty quick, and that can eventually make its way into your weapon. You want to keep that out, so I just open them up, check them, dry them off, re-oil them if I need to. I like to put just a really thin coat of oil in them just to make sure everything's moving together all right. Same thing with my Saiga. This thing had a lot of work today. It's filthy, dirty, dirty, dirty. And generally this thing lives on Walmart super cheapo, $25 100 ammo. But this time I didn't have any available, so I was shooting Winchester AA's, which, you know, are great loads. Plays guys use them obviously a lot, but they've got a good velocity. And same thing goes with the shotgun. I'm going to open this up. I put plenty of lube in this thing throughout the day, just to kind of try to keep the water out of it, disperse it. So it's wet with oil, and so I just want to make sure things are dried off. And obviously this is not universally just Saiga shotguns, or, you know, whatever you're running. Just take it apart, clean her up, wipe all your excess stuff off, and just re-lube it before you run the next day. I'm mostly concerned with the bulk carrier group more than anything else.
How's that looking?
It's very clean. Got a lot of gunk in it. I've got a pretty open port on this Saiga, so it's got a large area to collect water when it gets crappy. So far so good. I mean, it's oily, but it did its job. There's not a lot of water in there. Here's a real test, see what the gas system looks like. This is the one drawback to this weapon system, is that it's a lot of maintenance. Wow, this is really clean. If I'm running cheap Winchester Federal, like say $25 100 ammo, your gas block here, where the piston's housed, normally after I've shot, I probably put 100 rounds through this gun today, maybe a little bit more. You'll find some chunks of carbon, you know, sometimes as big as the end of your thumb, but this thing has got virtually nothing in there. Much nicer ammo. It's in great shape. It's very clean. It's wet. I can feel that. So I really don't have anything with me here to clean that out. So I'll leave that open for a while and just let her air dry. The only other thing I'll do is I'll run a bore snake through it just to make sure the bore is nice and clean, dry. If you guys haven't tried bore snakes, they've been around for a while, but they're awesome. They're cheap, they're compact. Great way to clean the shotgun, especially in the field or in a hotel room in Boonville, Missouri. Got a brass weighted cord that lets it come through the bore, and just draw her through a couple times and check your bore. Make sure it's clean and dry. And I did it. It looks great. I'll do the same thing with my Saiga mags. Just pop the bottom plates out, double check, make sure the mag bodies are clean, free of debris. They're dry. They look fine. I'd already broken down my pistol. This is my open class pistol, obviously. And then all I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to let it air out, let her dry. I'm going to wipe. I got plenty of lube on it because it was wet outside again. If it was a regular day, you know, I just kind of break it down, give her a quick wipe down, check the bore, make sure it looks okay. It's a little dirty, so I'll swab it a little bit. But I just basic cleaning, wipe her down a bit, get the extra carbon and crap out of it. This one I'd have to remove the comp, to remove the barrel, and I really don't feel like doing that tonight. So I'm just going to give her a quick perusal cleaning. Bottom frame, I mean, this thing's pretty clean. I put a couple hundred rounds through this thing today, and it's good shape. You can hardly tell anything went through it. So I just wipe it down. I mean, there's grease and crap on here. You got to have lube on these things when you're doing this many rounds, or they start to wear out, especially on your four lugs here. Try to keep those things lubed up. I always lube them before everyday shooting. You know, if I go and take it out and I pop one mag through it at the range, I'm not going to bother with it, but long day today, so it's going to get a little TLC on my stuff. I use Slide Glide from Brian Enos. It's a really good, and this is the standard weight. They make a lightweight if you're going to be shooting in colder temperatures, and it's got a lighter viscosity because this stuff, I've used this regular weight before in some near freezing temperatures, and it does affect the way the gun will cycle. It slows it down. So anyway, take a little bit on the end of a straight blade screwdriver is the easiest way I found, and just going to paint a little on the four logs. Didn't take a whole lot because you're going to end up wiping some of it off when you get done, so just a little bit. Keep her happy. Just like that. And those are my lube points, your 4-man lugs. That's all I really care and worry about. So set that aside, and then when you reassemble your slide, this is a stainless slide from Lone Wolf that I bought, and I mated it with a KKM match barrel comp from KKM as well, and then I've upgraded to a stainless guide rod from Zev. I really like these things. Nice thing about them is this is a blue spring, they make a red spring, so I use the blue for low power factor for minor. You can put a red in if you're shooting some hot loads. So put her back together, slide her in. You can see now I've already pushed some of that grease right out the back, so but let's just wipe it off. Work the action a few times. Wipe off any excess, and that's all I do with those. Said I'll run a swab down the bore a little bit, just to make sure she's clean, clean up some of the crap, give her like photo oil. I do the same thing with my pistol mags, and these are a little bit more of a bear cat to get open, but...
Are you using your smaller spare bulk carrier group to push that open?
Yes, I'm using my spare bulk carrier group to push that open. Or the edge of this desk. I use Dawson Precision mag bases, extended mag bases. They're reliable, they're tough, they're not terribly expensive. They fill up with brass if you use them a lot. But same thing, pull them apart, make sure the follower's in good shape. Mag bodies are clean, free of debris. If I'm happy with that, I just put them back together. The nice thing about the Dawson ones is you really don't, I mean, they're tool free. I mean, you don't need to have a punch or anything special. You just need something to press on the side of the gate here to get them open. We got a little detent when they close all the way. But they're tight on them. I mean, you really have to get a hell of a grip on them to make them open up. That's why I use precise tools like spare bolt carrier groups. Slam them open. But that's the basic cleaning I do through my gear. You know, just make sure that things are clean, and I don't get too carried away. I just want to make sure that I'm getting rid of any old lube that I put in throughout the course of the day to make them operate smoothly, and that there's not junk inside of them. Same thing with mag bodies. That's an integral part of the operation of the entire weapons platform. If your mags aren't running to 100% capacity, I mean, or capability, then yeah, you're going to have some issues down the road. You don't want them to drag up a bunch of crap into your fire control group and your bolt carrier and start having problems down the road. So other than that, I do that, make sure that everything's in working order. So I'm Blair Steiny with Hawkeye Ordnance. You can find us at hawkeyeordnance.com, or you can look for us at our Facebook page.